This presentation of the GWF is being broadcasted by Demos Sports, your ultimate source for sports throughout the cosmos.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Diamond Ringside Report. My name is Johnny Diamond and with me again is the legendary Pegasus the Powerful to once again rock the wrestling galaxy with a 10-carat report. We are here live on Demos, broadcasting all across the tri-planetary region, and for those of you who are on Earth, you are listening to us through the new and improved Phil Singer Games discussion board. Either way, thank you for joining us. Well, what a way to kick off the new year!
Indeed, Demos Perennial, as always, finds a way to entertain fans across the galaxy.
Well, indeed, there were surprises, including the impromptu match between the two brand-new tag teams.
Rush, along with his new tag team partner, didn't ask, but demanded a fight. Boy, did they ever get one.
Well, we'll get into that match in just a minute. We've had some changes in our live coverage of the GWFs, thanks to a certain guy sitting next to me.
Just like Cordonis, neither Commissioner Drury nor his counter jackwagon part Aethrin Overmaster can appreciate the concept of free speech. Did I really say something that offensive?
Well, if you didn't hear the first show, the one that aired prior to the Infinity Challenge draft, Pegasus hinted that the Aethrin Overmaster may have some dirt that Hector could dig up, and I quote, faster than an Aethrin revolt.
I said if he had dirt. Obviously he does. You'd think a guy who runs the most powerful planet in the galaxy could be man enough to confront an old school guy like me.
Quite frankly, I'm glad that didn't happen. Let's get to the second thing you said that got us in trouble.
What, that Commissioner Drury is a slug?
Do you ever learn?
He is. My job is to report the GWF the way I see it. The problem is that Drury doesn't like to hear it, so we have to suffer as a result of my calling him out.
Thankfully, we were able to get coverage of the Infinity Challenge draft due to the fact that Abraz and Dialectus were paying for the event, and they just so have happened to be the biggest fans of Pegasus back in his heyday.
Hey, they've got good taste, that's for sure.
However, Commissioner Drury has issued the following statement. Due to the continued acts of slander by Pegasus the Powerful of the Diamond Ringside Report, Demos Sports live coverage of the GWF has been suspended indefinitely. Thanks for ruining it for us, Pegasus.
Hey, thanks to the guys over at Mensa Sports, we will be able to play some clips from Demos Perennial, as well as other GWF coverage for at least the next year or so.
I don't know how we got him to agree to it, but we did, and our legal team found a loophole. Demos Sports, for the first time, has teamed up with Mensa Sports, since Mensa has an indefinite contract with the GWF coverage from the Cordonis era, which no one bothered to fight after he left. We were able to strike a deal with Mensa Sports that allows us to play their coverage of the GWF live events.
All right, enough of the minute details. Let's get to Demos Perennial, baby.
First, let's go to the official Infinity Challenge match. I thought this was going to be a competitive match despite Grit being a slight underdog, especially after the incident at the Infinity Challenge draft.
I was quite surprised myself. I picked Tank to win, but man, talk about total domination.
It was, and you'd have to think this is going to give Team Abraz the psychological edge with such a crushing victory.
It's just like Gravity Ball when the team starts a drive and it scores immediately. But hey, it's not over till it's over.
Well, let's move on to the Women's Championship match. This was a grueling match that really could have gone either way.
Sultana kicked out of the Cannonball Clothesline, and She-Devil kicked out of Pardon My Spear. But in the end, Sultana walked away the new GWF Women's Champion.
That'll be her fourth reign, and you got to think there's going to be a rematch somewhere down the road between these two.
She may have to get in line. Sean Ra is also very deserving of a championship match, too.
Moving right along. Enzor versus the mysterious man Coven Black. And, well, Enzor made some pretty quick work of him.
He cost Enzor the War Games Championship for a performance like that? Please, go to the GWFC and work on your in-ring skills. You were absolutely terrible.
Speaking of the War Games Championship, I have a confession to make. We got so excited with the action, we forgot to mention that Trix vs. Bloodline was announced for Demos Perennial, and it was for the War Games Championship.
Whoa. What's this we stuff? You forgot to mention it, not me. You were the one getting the feed in your headset.
My apologies, but let's not get too far off the subject. Trix lost the match, but held on to the title.
This is exactly why having Trix on your team is a risky move. Bloodline surprised him and put up a good fight. Rather than try to counter him and win, he used a foreign object and got himself disqualified.
Which means Abraz is going for the shutout. Dialectus must be pulling his scales out after that one.
Well, speaking of Dialectus and Abraz, their wrestling donation had his debut against Retribution, which wasn't too impressive.
No, he didn't, and I kind of wonder why the symbiote did absolutely nothing to help break grounding the demon.
Well, he's only a symbiote, and besides, he put up a much better fight than the other rookie Coven Black. Although I know it's only one match, I'm not so sure Symbiosis is ready for a feud with Swarm.
Well, we'll get to Swarm versus Commissioner Drury in just a minute. Let's get back to the third Infinity Challenge match of the evening. You made some pretty harsh remarks about this guy at the Infinity Challenge, but, how did he do in this match?
All right, I'll admit the little squirt did beat Vidtech, but he's lucky he even won that match.
Oh, lucky schmucky, Pegasus. Nitro won, and he deserved it.
Oh, geez, here goes your crushing the guy in the green tights. Look, let's just move on to the final Infinity Challenge match of the evening, shall we?
Not only does this count towards the Infinity Challenge, but it is also for the Tag Team Champion.
And Team Abraz is not just up, but also won some gold in the process.
There's gotta be a rematch. I really thought Stars and Stripes won.
Guy and Male need to take a deep breath, think about their match, and try to find a way to win their rematch. Despite their differences, they've proven they can work well as a tag team.
In our next match between Tauron versus Nosfera, well, Tauron came up big.
He sure did. This new Victory Star Drop is a devastating finisher. Although he hit him hard with this move, I think this move has potential for hurting some guys higher up on the card. Hopefully our commissioners.
You just can't stop yourself, can you?
I could. I just don't feel like it.
Well, let's get to the one-match Commissioner Drury book that intrigued even you.
Well, I really didn't see this one coming, but you did, Diamond. I'll also say that while they're not the originals, they definitely look pretty impressive.
Santos really looked like he was getting the job done, but he came up short after the Hellfire.
Well, what's a match with Bishop Hell without a little Hellfire?
The next match was a bit impromptu. The night before the card, we had a house show featuring two brand new tag teams looking to get a tryout into the GWF. Before the match could hardly get started.
Whoa. They aren't just any two tag teams. One of them is an up-and-coming team, the Titan Bulldogs. Have you seen these guys in the Z territories? They are really fun to watch.
Well, I'll take a moment to introduce the other team, the Riders on the Storm. These two guys from the DWA really got over with the crowd. After all, they were kind of the hometown heroes.
You're also missing an important detail. These two guys are the grandchildren of the Wind Riders. Remember the early Classics era? Rama and Tano debuted in the GWF 50 years ago. That's why the crowd was so into this match.
And then came the new Gladiator tag team of Rush and his partner Turmoil. They absolutely beat these two teams into a pulp. Rush grabbed a microphone and issued an open challenge to any tag team at Demos Perennial. No one seemed to want to come out at first, and therefore Rush and Turmoil just kind of continued the onslaught on these two new teams. Then these two men showed up and made a big challenge.
This is terrible. This is a disgrace.
Hey, welcome to the GWF, kids. Lesson number 1. It's either kill or be killed. The Gladiators have been kind enough to teach them both this lesson.
No one has come out to accept the Rush's challenge, and the Bulldogs as well as the Riders on the Storm are paying as a result. Something needs to... Oh, wait a minute.
What in the 5th round?
Oh, here they are, clinch and shoot from the MMA, have come to save the day.
Oh my goodness gracious! Get these crooks out of here! They're not employed by the GWF!
Wait a minute, it appears as though Clinch has a microphone.
Cut it off! Cut these two goons off!
Hey, you! Go talk to your boy Sly. Clinch and Shoot have been signed under the Dark Menace to the GWF. But hey, we ain't waiting for the ink to dry to get into a fight. Whichever two of yous is looking for a fight, I got two options for you. One, two new teams can debut tomorrow at Demos Perennial, the Gladiators versus the Ultimate Fighters. Or two, well, we don't have to wait till tomorrow.
I don't care what you two punks want. I want to get this on right now.
Security is not allowing these four men to get at each other. It looks like this will be a match that'll have to wait until tomorrow. However, the rumors on the internet have been confirmed. The Ultimate Fighters, Clinch and Shoot, have arrived at the GWF.